The child was on the ground. The head was towards the window, so the head was towards the back of the house, and he picked the child up, and he was in a circular motion, taking something off the head, around the neck. The head was blue.
Well, that's just one of the painful testimonies to hear from first responders in court today in the murder trial against Lindsay Clancy. She's accused of killing her 3 children, but has pleaded not guilty to the 3 counts of first-degree murder. I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul. She joins us now. She's been following the case from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Shanelle, what new details did we learn today?
Well, look, day 3 here in Plymouth, Massachusetts was short, but it was powerful. We heard today from 10 witnesses that prosecutors brought to the stand. All 10 of them were first responders, so people like police, paramedics, firefighters who responded to the scene that night, the night in January of 2023 when Lindsay Clancy killed her 3 children. Now, remember that the night they were called there, they were originally called there to help Lindsay Clancy because Patrick Clancy, her then husband, was out for about an hour running some errands, and that's when she actually went down to the basement and reportedly killed her 3 young children. After that, as we understand the timeline of events, she went up to the master bedroom. She tried to harm herself, ended up jumping outside of that master bedroom window and falling to the ground in their backyard. And that is where Patrick Clancy, her then husband, found her when he got back home that night. Yesterday in court, you remember we heard that very chilling 911 call that Patrick made, calling authorities to try to help Lindsay in that moment. And then what happened today in court is we actually heard the other side of that story, which was how first responders got to the scene and what they saw, what they heard. So many of them who took the stand today talked about the moment that Patrick Clancy went down to the basement to check on his children. And I was telling you about this yesterday. You can hear it on that 911 call when he is wailing, he's yelling, he's crying for several minutes. As he realizes his 3 young children had been killed by his own wife. Today, many of those first responders recounted that really harrowing moment and talked about what they saw in the basement that night. Here's more from one of them.
I'd see if I can get a pulse, but I mean, based on my training experience from previous incidents, I knew it wasn't going to be good. So I moved ahead. That's where I observed some red marks on that right-hand side. Based on my observations, I knew there wasn't really much I could do.
And tomorrow's also going to be a really difficult, harrowing day for these jurors. They're going to be taking sort of a field trip. They'll be visiting the home, the Clancy home, where all of this had happened that night. They'll also be taking a trip to both the CVS and a restaurant called 3V. Those are the 2 stops that Patrick Clancy made the night that his children were killed before he got back home. So they'll be heading out to do that, and then testimony is expected to continue in the afternoon. But look, jurors here are not charged with deciding whether or not Lindsay Clancy killed her 3 children. The big question here is whether or not she was of sound mind in that moment. We've been talking a lot about, of course, her mental health in the weeks and the months leading up to what happened that night in January 2023. And the big question here is going to have to be for them whether she should be held criminally responsible for her children's deaths.
Shanelle Kaul, thank you so much.